This video was sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes launching your own website a breeze.
Welcome back to the break room. Bird blindness is a real thing, especially if you're blind as a bat. We're talking Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2. A man is only as good as his bird. And we're talking some big DC news as well that we're learning about from the set of Clayface. It is the Aftershow. Do you wanna taste it? Oh, other song. Juliet, you're a lonely boy. I don't know what the words are. We're so happy to be here with you all, chatting about Peacemaker's second episode of its second season. I'm Erik Voss. Joining me today, he is a lifetime subscriber of Engorged Magazine. It's Zach Huddleston.
You could, more like Mildly Deflated Magazine.
Ooh.
You guys saw, you gotta watch the breakdown for that, because that magazine is insane. I don't even know who the subscribership of that magazine would have been. Also joining us, she's not afraid to call out Muppets and drugstores. It's Jessica Clemons.
Fucking Beaker. He said, who's Beaker? Because he deserved to be accosted after he said, who's Beaker? That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, how do you not know
Everyone knows who Beaker is, and you look like him, so.
Just the blocking of it, and his head was like right above the...
Now, we talked about the casting. Do you think this guy was typecasted for the script?
They definitely
you don't think she improvised Beaker on it?
I don't think so. I think James Gunn wrote it, and there was like 6 Beakers in a casting call, just sitting outside of
I wouldn't mind it if you had like a little bit more of a puff of hair. You know what I mean? I want the full Beaker. I don't know.
That guy's got to come back, and there's got to be a Bunsen. Yes.
Just a bald guy with glasses just standing there.
Can this be like the gag in Community, how there's like 3 mentions of Beetlejuice, and then a Beetlejuice appeared in the background? Can we just have Muppet?
Yeah, I would love
human
it.
Muppets in the background. Who can you rank your favorite?
No, there's another beef about this online right now. People are going online again, re-ranking. New characters come up. You want to re-rank them. I've been updating my document always. Number 1 is Uncle Deadly.
Who is that?
Uncle Deadly is he's the old one that runs like the studio where they perform. And he's just very queer-coded and very British. And I love him. Yeah. He's scary. He's perfect.
I mean,
Spiggy's number 2.
I'm Statler Waldorf till I die. But you know what? The whole Dr. Teeth crew?
Yeah.
Pretty badass.
Yeah,
the whole
Electric
band,
Mayhem
pretty
is
great.
perfect.
That's
Electric
right.
Mayhem is perfect. He said that Gonzo's the worst.
Oh, well, is he though?
Oh.
Wait, he kind of is.
What?
I don't deny that. He's just not.
Is your favorite Beaker?
No, my favorite is who was my Fozzie? Fozzie Bear's my favorite.
Fozzie's great.
He's a sweetheart.
But Gonzo's fine, man. He fucks a chicken. Come on.
That's why I don't think
he
he's
ever
great.
did that. I don't think he ever
Because a
did.
chicken can't consent. So that's what I'm not crazy about. Okay, but speaking of bird blindness, right?
Speaking of bird,
Hey!
Questions we'll talk about in this after show. Who is Amelia Harcourt's jarhead boyfriend in this alternate universe? Is it Rick Flag? Could it be someone else? Also, who helped Augie build this QUC Nexus room? And now with Gotham mentioned in this episode, will this season show us the DCU Gotham City that we're seeing from Clayface production photos? A reminder though, before we get into our conversation, nerdriot.shop is your one-stop shop for all the greatest nerdy gear, and grabbing anything from that shop is the best way to support us at new Rockstars. We have some new Eat Peace Peacemaker designs. Zach is rocking that shirt.
Look at that. Eagerly, permanently featured here.
Yeah. I'm wearing the Doghouse of Solitude shirt that I really, really love, that celebrates crypto. Jessica's wearing our Xavier Institute shirt. So many cool designs. And if you are able to support us, the Breakroom now offers a membership option that's really just for people who can like join us in our comment sections and our live streams just to show their support. And we love anyone who can do that. If you can't, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to miss out on anything. But it is a nice thing that we appreciate everyone who can do it. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the episode and then tackle some of the questions that people had after it and talk about the DCU. So in episode 2 of Peacemaker, we learned that 8 months ago, Rick Flag Sr. became acting director of Argus and quickly realized that Peacemaker was the one who killed his son, Rick Flag Jr., formally establishing that part of the Suicide Squad as DC Universe canon. Tim Meadows joins the cast as Argus agent Flury, who joins John John Economos' surveillance of Chris's house. Flury has bird blindness, he says, and also has no respect for Pokemon, and he just has some major ladies' man energy. Leota reconnects with Kia, and we find out that Kia did not go back to Gotham City, but rather stayed in Evergreen working for Jitters Coffee. Chris tries to hide the corpse of his variant, and Adrian gleefully helps him chop it up and burn the parts. The 11th Street kids get lit on a rooftop while Flury leads a strike team into Chris's house to check out the QUC chamber door, but Eagly attacks them, doing some major damage. And then after getting shut down by Amelia of this universe, Chris gets drunk on Bud Light and goes back into the other universe where he texts the variant of Amelia and gets a heartbreak emoji in response. And that's where we end the episode. So it was a question posed the week before, but Amelia, or Amelia 2, has some jarhead boyfriend. I posed a theory that it could have been Rick Flag or it could be John Stewart, Green Lantern, Aaron Pierre. Based off of this episode, I feel like it's going to be Rick Flag who's still alive. But what do you guys think?
I can see that. Didn't we see didn't they give us a little tease for the 3rd episode?
You don't see Joel Kinnaman in it. You just see like...
but we see that she is like in Argus there.
She's in Argus there, and she has a... the name of the episode is like Another Rick Up My Sleeve or something like that.
Well, now, could it be
the dad?
Rick Flag Sr.?
Could be a second Rick Flag Sr.
And Creature Commandos, he's banging young people all the time.
Yeah,
will
Little
that
Princess, yeah.
Could that Rick Flag look like the animated version who's just
that would actually be kind of fun.
They have him gray-headed.
Yeah.
I mean, because the age gap between Rick Flag Sr. and Jr., 15 years?
Literally 12. 12
yeah, they're not. One's in his 40s, one's in his 50s. I don't know. Yeah, it could be either, but it feels like it's gotta be. They're not just gonna give her a random veteran boyfriend, right?
I don't think so. Yeah. It's gotta be someone specific. And I think like if it were someone in the early episodes, and if that were a John Stewart Green Lantern, like the first time we see Aaron Pierre in the DCU, that would have gotten out there by now. The first 5 episodes many people in the press have seen those first 5 episodes. There's no way.
It would also be weird to debut a brand new character in that spot, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
If we're playing this whole alternate universe, because that would also mean, if it's Aaron Pierre, for instance, that this is not the Aaron Pierre who we're going to see in Lanterns. This is the alternate version of him, though.
Oh, good point.
Why would you introduce the B version of a character before we even meet the A version, right?
Yeah, I think that's one of many reasons why it's probably not going to be.
Also, I mean, they're clearly setting up, we're going to spend a lot more time in this other dimension. Are we calling them dimensions or universes, Erik?
Good question. They've called it Dimensional Portal, right? I don't know if they call them No, he says 99 other universes.
Okay.
So I think he's using it interchangeably.
Whatever the proper term is, I will continue to use the wrong one. But I do love, if we spend a lot of time there, are we going to see that version's Economos? Are we going to see, we know we're going to see that version's Harcourt, but are all the kids going to be over there? Are we going to see Vigilante over there? Are we going to see weirdo, bizarro versions of everybody? That'd be fun.
I think we're going to see an alternate version of Vigilante, just because the dance sequence in the opening titles, you see him in a different costume.
And he appears to be have a shaved head.
Or he's got this weird kind of Mike Seaver look to him.
Yes, and he's wearing a dark hat or something like that, right?
Oh, no, well, that's a different guy who's wearing a dark hat. What I'm thinking of is Freddie Strom is wearing dad jeans, white tennis shoes, and a green kind of early 90s looking shirt. I don't know. I think this question, though, whatever it is, will be answered next episode.
Do you think the people in the dance sequence at the beginning are the 2 different universes of people? Because they change, all of them change outfits in the second part.
I think so. I think definitely we know that for
Harcourt.
Yeah, right? Captain Triumph. And Augie 2, where he's wearing the white and blue armor, and then the fact that David Denham as Keith is alive in the second part of it. So I just don't know how many of them. But Leota does wear a different shirt.
Yeah, she's wearing different clothes.
What is it, brownies or something?
Oh, no, it's a baseball t-shirt, and I remember just being oh, this looks great, I want it. And then being she didn't wear this at the beginning of the dance sequence. Yes. And I wonder if someone is wearing the same outfit in the dance sequence, it just means they don't exist in the other universe.
That's a good point.
I'm sure one of them does not exist in the other
universe. Though we also see, Chris changes outfits in it, but not in an outfit that we know his alternate version is dead already. Yeah, you know what I mean? We didn't get to see either version wear that. It's also, I wonder if the other element that sticks with me from that dance sequence is there's the moment where alternate Harcourt and alternate brother Keith like float up in the air on like wire work. Like they kind of fly for a moment, like in a not, no human person could jump up and do that. Do you think? I mean, we've seen images of the top trio flying, like they have super suits, but like, does Harcourt have powers?
Oh, I don't know about that.
That'd be interesting. I was thinking more that if she works at Argus in that dimension, is that dimension of Argus for Peacemaker in the family, or is that Argus not for Peacemaker in the family? Because I was also like, it seems like from what we're gonna see in episode 3, she's still like, he's in Argus talking to her. So I'm like, oh, everyone's okay with Peacemaker here in Argus.
Yeah.
Maybe in that universe he didn't kill.
Yeah, he was never arrested, so he never got pulled into the Suicide Squad, so he never had to kill Rick Flag Jr.
So it might be Rick Flag Jr. if he's still alive in that universe. Well, just working at Argus. But Waller made Argus, right?
Yeah, or was in charge of it.
She was the head of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Waller has to still be there.
She's still around.
In the other universe?
Probably, yeah.
Right? Because if Argus is, I guess she's not directly, she doesn't own it.
But if if Harcourt is still there, it would imply that Waller is too. Because the only reason why Harcourt was fired is because of the whole fallout.
That's true. You're right.
Oh, so many interesting.
Yeah, it's also, you're constantly asking, if this is true, then this has to be true. Which is the fun part about piecing this puzzle together. I do think it's going to be Rick Flag Jr. I think it is. I think they're going to bring that boy back. Also, because of wasted potential. That boy died in the worst way possible. Getting a shard to your heart. Yeah, that's a horrible way.
Well, and if we're kind of like the whole, the big thing about this alternate universe is like Chris gets to see how life could have been if his brother didn't die, if his dad wasn't evil and he didn't have to kill him, right? Well, then another kind of big sin he's committed is killing Rick Flag Jr., right? Like, what would the world look like if he didn't do that? But maybe it's actually not for the best, because maybe Rick Flag Jr. steals your girl.
Yeah, it's like, oh, now I'm going to kill him. What if he kills Rick Flag Jr. again?
Oh
my God.
That could be really fun. Yeah.
That'd be horrible.
One of our sponsors today is Squarespace. If you've been on the fence about starting a website because you think it's going to be too hard or take too long, get off that fence. Squarespace makes it easy. Squarespace is an all-in-one tool that gives you everything you need to make a website that looks good and does whatever you need it to do. If you're selling goods or services, Squarespace can help you untangle digital payment platforms with just a few clicks, making it easy to start receiving payments right away using popular payment methods like Apple Pay, ACH, Direct Debit, Klarna, and more. If you're not a graphic designer, don't worry. Squarespace's design intelligence tool makes it so easy to get your website looking just right. It combines 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge technology. Every Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more. So you show up more often to more people in global search engine results. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/breakroom to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
I kind of skipped over this, but what were you guys' impressions of episode 2? What'd you think?
Oh, I liked it. I'm having a fun time. It's a very fun show. So I'm genuinely having a ball. I'm laughing a lot. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think they're also really doing a good job right now, because it's going to be hard, and I know it's going to happen, at giving them all equal screen time while they're apart. I'm like, oh, each of them are getting a little piece, and they're all not in the same room, and that's insane that they're doing it still and it's working.
Yes, this did feel like, maybe a bit of a middle episode between bigger events. We were kind of talking about, like, not as much plot unfolding in this episode as certainly the premiere. We did get to meet Tim Meadows' character, who is already a highlight of the season and delivered some of the best lines of the show, and is a real piece of work. But it did feel like we meet this whole crew of generic Argus thugs, and like for them to be killed and or maimed by the end, which was a fun sequence.
Do you think any of them died? I think the worst injury was the guy's eye getting
They
plucked
said that
out.
not all of them died, right?
Yeah,
but
like,
I think Titty did
lost
die because her throat.
I mean, she had her jugular ripped out.
And the guy that got an eye, did that guy that's eye get removed?
The father who had 2 kids running around his house.
I do think, they might have just been maimed, because even Tim Meadows' character Flury is saying like, "We'll get you help." To the woman who had her throat ripped out or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, and he's putting pressure on the wound, I guess. So
Yeah, it looks like kind of a scratch, but maybe not deep
pretty
enough.
nasty.
It was Yeah, maybe. I think
hope
they
she's
survived.
okay.
I think majority of them did survive because that's why they're able to get up and walk away at the end, or at least
Yeah.
he was.
And they have the a lot of them are in the opening dance, and I feel like
yeah,
if they were one and done
that's right.
day players, I feel like they wouldn't have been in the dance. But I guess not all of them are. Like 3 of them are.
Yeah, it's like Flury with maybe 2 people behind him.
Encino Man is not.
No, not
is
Encino
there.
Man.
I have to look at it again. But you know the guy who plays Ponyboy was Leapfrog in She-Hulk.
That makes sense.
He's
Good
the-
for him.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Eugene.
I
Good
did
for him.
not notice
Now we
that.
got 2 Marvel characters now over here.
Now, what does it mean if like you were a major Marvel villain in She-Hulk, but now you're kind of a no-name
Was he
Agent
major?
Klein? She-Hulk, Leapfrog is a major character.
No, in the comics, he was not even in She-Hulk.
I guess even in She-Hulk, it
in
was
She-Hulk, he was just rich, and he was like, "I'm gonna jump out a window."
But it was a big episode. It was a Daredevil episode.
No, it was Daredevil was the best part. I think because that was the whole thing is he kidnapped the fashion designer and was like, "I am the fashion designer." I think he did a better. I think he gets more as Ponyboy.
Kinda, yeah. He kinda does.
He's
got
less
the
ridiculous.
funny-
Yeah,
gotta
he's
find his
real,
name.
more fleshed
But
out.
that murder of all those people and Eagly doing it, I really thought when they got slow motion, Eagly was gonna get killed because
Yeah,
with the
I thought so
episode
too.
being like, what was the episode title again?
A man is as good as his bird.
I thought Frank Grillo, I thought Flag Senior was gonna kill Eagly and be like an eye for an eye.
Oh.
And I was like, 'cause
that's
I
how
thought-
I roll.
Yeah, oh my god, straight up and kicks the bird over. I
What's
thought
something you love?
As much as, we are seeing...
the funniest part of it.
I totally agree. And doesn't it feel like we're maybe on the precipice of things are about to get a lot worse for the kids and or for Chris? Because as much as like he's dealing with like the sadness professionally and family, and there's a lot of like grief and depression for Peacemaker, doesn't it feel like things could be getting worse? And like, because he still has his friend crew, and they're all kind of hunky dory, but like that's probably gonna fall apart.
He
right?
also left the door open, didn't he? When he left the episode, or when he went into that room, or when he went to go call Hardcore in that universe, he left the door open.
I didn't notice that.
So I'm literally like, oh great, Frank Senior's gonna come through, see his son, and be like, I kind of want to stay here too.
I do want to point out, and I appreciate this because I think this is what it was intended. When he tries to call her on alt Peacemaker's phone, but in his
Don't
universe,
start.
it doesn't work. So I appreciate that.
Okay.
But at first, when he was like, call could not be whatever, I was like, oh, did she block him? That's what my brain went to. And then I'm like, oh no, of course you can't use another universe's phone in your universe, right?
When I was watching my roommate, the first thing he said was, it would have gone to someone's number in this universe, and they would have
Yes.
responded.
But I had thought too, they would have been
Yes.
like, who this?
Who the fuck?
Hey.
No, it's like
Just a chick pic.
universes are like SIM cards. You know what I mean? You
That's what I'm saying.
can't.
If the technology
so-
is the same, wouldn't it ping the same tower?
That's what I was. This is okay.
I don't know.
We're
It's like we're
overthinking
learning
this,
things
but
about
I
lore
was
tech
thinking
is
that.
specific to its universe, which implies that Maxwell Lord only has specific universal tech, and that he has access to the multiverse of the DC.
Are you saying that Maxwell Lord is not in this other universe then?
Oh,
Or
no,
he would be. He would be.
He is, but like
And
he has made agreements with his variants to be like, no, people cannot hand their phones over to their variants.
That is
and
so
you can't-
capitalism that he's like, no one's sharing the password.
like,
here.
right.
It's the freaking outlets in Europe. You know what I mean? It's that
It is that, yeah. You need. It's
crazy.
like what's it called? Planned obsolescence that Brandon rants about in his security or his
that's
conspiracy
true.
rants.
That
He's
is
not
true.
wrong. He's true.
But with the people that all died or was getting beaten or attacked by Eagly, other than thinking Eagly was gonna die, I was like, okay, they died. We're gonna go past this storyline. But isn't it more about the fact that maybe in the next episode he's gonna call his who's the person that's above Tim Meadows' character?
God.
Rick Flag Sr.?
Lower? No, it's the woman that he was
Sasha
on the
Bordeaux.
phone
Oh,
with.
yes, Sasha Bordeaux.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, Sasha Bordeaux. She's gonna probably tell Frank Sr., right? And then he's gonna show up to the house. I feel like all that entire scene couldn't just happen for no reason. I feel like it's something that James is gonna make sure we go back to.
They're definitely building to a direct confrontation between Flag and Chris, right? Like at some point, Flag is going to quit sending his underlings to go spy, and he's like, I would like to handle this myself, right?
I think that line is going to be a bird or like a duck attacked us, and he's gonna be like, "How did you guys not fight a bird?" And he's gonna show up, and that's why I'm afraid Eagly's gonna die.
Do you guys think that this whole idea of bird blindness, like, I feel like Hawk Girl has to show up this season.
Yeah.
Can he not see Hawk, or does he think Hawk Girl is like
Pigeon
a duck
Girl
or a pigeon
or Condor Girl
a
or
canary?
Well, that's fun. That's actually really funny because she only has the bird. She's clearly a human.
Yeah,
but you're right. Is like he probably doesn't recognize it. He's probably like, Nah, that's a little like a beaver duck thing.
We have some questions about her physiology because she is a Kendra Saunders hawk girl, but her wings are organic. They are not like the alien metal. It's not nth metal. It's
They
like
pop out of her back.
She screeches.
Yeah.
She's got bird pipes. She's got bird wings.
Yeah.
So does that make her enough of a bird for?
I think that's gonna be a
for,
joke
you know,
that James will absolutely write into the
Yeah.
script is that he also cannot read Hawk Girl.
He's gonna be like, "What's everyone looking at?"
Yeah, there's only one way we can find
I
out.
see a blur. What does he see? Is what I want.
Get Flury.
Is it like
and
a blur? Is it like?
It is like. Do people that have bird blindness is obviously a fake thing. That's a fun bit, but like there are real people that have real face blindness. Right? Like that's a thing to different
It's more
degrees
of
that
like
you can have.
the ocular nerve, right? It just creates kind of a dyslexia, like a confusion.
Yes, and there's certainly color blindness is a fairly
sure.
common phenomenon, right? Like, and when if you are colorblind and maybe you don't see, is it like green and red or the common ones that people can't see? It's not that you still see objects that are green and red; they just kind of appear like neutral or gray
Kind of
to
neutral,
you.
or it's kind of like a brown tone. And a lot of color blindness is like they can't see the variations between the shades, so they can't tell the difference between like a powder blue and a sky blue.
But he
It's
can
just
still
like blue.
he can still decipher it was a bird.
He knows that there's a bird.
He knows it's a
He just
bird.
can't see what species.
Because
it is.
it's not the kind, right, that gives him the incentive to be like, it's some duck. Like a duck doesn't cough.
I love that he could not see the dimensions of the bird.
Yeah.
He couldn't even tell how big the bird was to be able to
craziest
shoot
thing.
it.
Because I was in the breakdown.
I
I was
hate
like,
this
does
so
this
much.
mean like his ocular nerve just gets so overwhelmed by concept of bird that like he can't see around the wings, like he can't see if the wings are very long or very small, so he just like can't see around it.
This is so
Is it
I
a
love
panic?
I could do
that
20
sets
more
in?
minutes on
I
bird
want you
blindness.
guys to. I would love to see a full video breaking down.
Also, I would say
I genuinely would. It's
I never
terrifying.
had really strong feelings about birds in general, but then I have a friend, you also know him, Erik, Andrew Camphy, who, as a grown man, was like, I'm deathly afraid of birds. And like, I would go places with him, like go to a park, and like, you know, at like MacArthur Park or something like that, there's the water there, and there'll be like a bunch of like water birds or something like that. And, you know, we'd just be like walking somewhere, and there'd be a bunch of ducks or something like that, and
boy-
he'd freak out. And I gotta say, I was always like, that's the silliest phobia somebody can have.
No.
But you watch an episode like this, and it's like, birds got talons, they got sharp
You're
bills.
blue and you can't. They're moving so fast.
They can
like
come
that.
at you
That's
way
why I'm like, your
fast.
boy was probably attacked by like as a
Yes,
child
I think he
and
had
was
some bad
triggered.
experiences. Also, like a goose, or I mean, obviously eagles, but like a big old goose or a swan, those things weigh 40 pounds. If you imagine that thing coming at you full speed,
You know what you do? You grab that neck, and then
You
you
got it.
throw
It's all
that
neck.
shit
It's
back.
all neck. Yeah.
You just grab that shit back. But if it's like a pigeon or like a crow that's swooping down on me, nah. I think I hit you guys up on Slack one day when I went into the alley, and I was like, "There's a bird that's attacking you," and I was so afraid because you can't stop them. They're going so fast.
Is this why Campy was one of the gizzard wizards? Just to
it's
get
a
some
lot.
control over the situation?
This is Breakroom canon. It's come up before. I was on a
Jesus
show
Christ.
called Food Truck Face Off, like the early 2000s, with this gentleman. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Why are
You'll
you so
know.
many
If you
game
know, you know.
shows?
Gizzard wizards. I will happily buy $100 worth of gizzards. Can we get up to 200? I'll match whatever you guys
Oh, I love a good gizzard.
Yeah. But birds are kind of one of these innate fears that a lot of people have.
Mm-hmm.
Hitchcock famously had a fear of birds. I think part of it is like there's the fact that they can fly just kind of destabilizes the human brain.
When also they're
Dakota Johnson's grandma got him tied to her arms during the Birds movie.
I like that you
Oh,
say
yes.
Dakota Johnson,
Johnson,
not to be heteronormative.
no,
that's
that is
true.
Dakota Johnson's
That's right.
grandma.
And like because they are not
Nothing else.
because they are not mammals, right? And even like non-primate mammals like dogs and cats and cows and horses, we can like assign personalities to them.
Yeah.
Sure,
You know, and like we feel like we are reading their faces and their moods, but like birds have no personality, no emotion.
No, they're just monsters, dude.
They are.
They're just
Yeah,
monsters.
ghosts.
Ducks are literally. You think dolphins are bad? Look up ducks.
I don't
Ducks
think
will.
dolphins are bad. Who said dolphins are bad? Who said?
I've seen
Let me correct myself. You said you guys think dolphins get into disgusting behaviors at
Oh,
times.
I see.
Yeah,
Gonzo.
ducks.
Look up ducks.
Look up what
Look up
certain
ducks.
parts of ducks look like, and it's wild.
Not that funny. What are you googling it for, you weirdo?
Corkscrew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys stop it. Mazes.
Spin the duck.
You spin it upside down.
Yeah, and then you pop out the cork.
It does the thing from what is that fucking movie? Shape of Water. That's how she said it was cocooned.
One of our sponsors this week is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. You may have heard of HelloFresh. They send chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients to your home. But this summer, they made their biggest menu upgrade yet. This isn't the HelloFresh you remember. It's bigger, healthier, and tastier than ever. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. Now you can choose from 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. Dig into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. Plus, you can feel great with an even healthier menu filled with high-protein and veggie-packed recipes. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more veggies. Also, with the new HelloFresh, you can get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost. There's 3 times more seafood on the menu now. Again, at no extra cost. Discover new seasonal produce each week, from snap peas to stone fruit to corn on the cob and more. Every HelloFresh meal uses high-quality ingredients, including seasonal fresh produce and proteins that travel from the farm to your doorstep. Plus, flexible deliveries that you can pause or skip when you need. I use HelloFresh, and you should too. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/Breakroom10FM now to get 10 free meals and a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/Breakroom10FM to get 10 free meals and a free item for life.
A question I have for you guys. The Quantum Unfolding Chamber has these like symbols everywhere on all the portal gates. We don't know what they are. It's in a kind of extra dimensional language. We don't know. Do we think that part of the big cameos that James Gunn has in store for the final 3 episodes of the season are people like, you know, these 5th dimensional beings like Mr. Mixius Pitlick, the crazy spelling guy who is that dimensional imp who's a reality warper who just likes to screw with Superman? Could people like him have been helping Augie? Because I don't think Augie built it all himself. If you have this kyphotic alien who's burning a cat every day, there's other crap in here.
What did you call him? A what alien?
Kyphotic alien, which refers to people who hunch. That's James Gunn has credited it as a kyphotic alien and won't say anything more about what he is.
He likes hunching characters.
He's a
Was it Mr. Hands? Mr. Hugh? What's the?
Oh, Mr. Handsome.
Handsome. Mr.
Which I
Handsome.
thought he is just like
I
Mr.
hate
Handsome.
Mr. Handsome so much. I think
Aw,
it's
he's a
disgusting.
sweetie.
No, he's not. That's a monster.
He's generous.
I'm nervous about your dreams because that is a
He's
monster.
a great listener.
Because it just is
Yeah,
sitting
he
there.
just sits and listens, smiles at you. There's a lot of like speculation because James Gunn, everyone in the cast keeps saying big cameos are coming. But does big cameos mean people we saw in Superman, or does it mean people like Zolomar Duenia, who played Blue Beetle, who James Gunn has said the character, not the world, but the character, as played by that actor, is DC canon. Could this be how he gets Blue Beetle in the DCU?
Because for context here, both screeners were sent out there's an 8-episode season. Screeners were sent out for the first 5 episodes, so people have seen the first 5. Also, in interviews that Gunn and Steve Agee and a lot of people have done, they've said the last 3 episodes almost feel like a different season.
Yeah.
Or like things get very wild, or they're using all this kind of language to hint at like, well, just you wait for that last 3. And so you're thinking that like we are going to see people in those last 3 episodes that will be surprising or unexpected or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, in the trailer, they
in
open the gate and there's a big skull spider from hell. And I'm like, if it can go that crazy, it can certainly go. We open the door and we see Nick Cage again as Superman. Like, I was thinking, is he going to fold that in? I don't know if he would do that because everyone hated those moments in The Flash, the 2023 The Flash movie. But that is a way he could like show one door and there's like Jason Momoa as Aquaman there.
Oh.
It could be, it could be. That's the thing is there were so many people that died in Creature Commandos in that one scene that it could be literally anyone from that Creature Commandos scene.
Like from that future?
Yeah, it could be like Starfire. I also think the fans saying big cameo, it's Superman, Batman, it's those big ones.
Yeah.
But when they're talking about a James Gunn, it's like a Zolo. Like
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. A Blue Beetle. Also, give my baby boy in there. Get my baby boy back.
I think he'd be great. This would be the best way to get him in just because like I almost feel like James Gunn is really it goes against everything James Gunn has said he wants the DC universe to be. He wants it to be fantastical, yes. He wants it to feel like the pages of a comic book, but he has so far resisted like dimensions. But like the QUC is like the TVA essentially, right? It's like a crazy multiversal nexus, and I think he's only doing that just to fix this transition out of the DC EU, the Zack Snyder era, the Walter Hamada era, into a new DCU, and just kind of pick pieces and characters that he wants from those worlds and fit them now in this world that he has full control over.
What if we even, because again, it also gives you this perfect opportunity to do things that are like not canon, will never be canon, because these are truly like, do we open up a world and we see Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard from the Scooby-Doo movies? You know what I mean? Do we see the extended James Gunn?
That is true. I would hate for them to put like a character that like Blue Beetle in a scene that they're gonna immediately retroactive, like they just take away. But he could do that. He could easily bring in his Scooby-Doo characters.
The only sad thing for Blue Beetle is like his family was so important to him in the 2023 movie, and so if he did come into the DCU, like you'd have to get some of his family in there too.
You could just get his sister, honestly.
But what about his uncle and his mother?
But I think the sister was more important.
I think they're all important.
No, I think they were all important, but if you want to get 12 people or one, you get like the sister. Because the sister was always there. She worked with him, and she's also, the last time I saw her was in Hocus Pocus 2. You can throw around a bunch of things.
Watch Jessica's Hocus Pocus 2 breakdown.
It is a great breakdown,
One of the best
and you guys
intros.
let it flop.
The best intro to any video we've ever
I don't
done.
know, the Moana 2 one. The Moana 2 is kind of good. Either one, you choose. I paid a lot for the...
Oh,
God,
man,
good times. We need to start dressing up for our breakdowns.
Yeah, we gotta get back to that. Yeah,
But
definitely.
you don't think it'll be Supergirl?
I think there's a very good chance. We know that like Otis and Sydney Saperson from Superman will show up. I feel like there'll be someone else. So Otis Berg, he's like two of his henchmen who's in the 1A.
Oh, was it the one with the glasses?
Glasses with Sydney
Mustache.
Saperson. Stevie Blakeheart played him. Otis, I can't remember.
Is he the black guy?
He's a black guy, but he's
nice,
like
cool.
he's
They
a
were the
famous
two
actor.
guys that pulled up in the van and dropped off the monster that turned into the kaiju, right? Yeah.
They are in trailer footage, so it's not spoiling anything. James Gunn wants us to know they're coming, but there's someone else who trailer footage has shown, like Rick Flag Sr. saying, I want to go to Belle Reve and talk to someone.
Oh.
And who do we know just got recently stored at Belle Reve? Lex
Blue
Luthor. Luthor's going to be there. Who were you saying?
I said Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle's going to be there.
They sent him there. Who's telling Rick Flag that?
He's ordering it. He's like, it's in the trailer for the season. He goes, get me into Belle Reve. I need to talk to an inmate there. But that could also be someone from Task Force M. It could be Weasel.
Oh yeah, we could just walk past Lex Luthor in his like little kennel and then keep going and see everybody else.
Do you guys think that we might see the live action Bride?
Oh
She'd
my
be
God.
great. She would be so good.
Give me. I love Bride and Creature Commandos. Oh my God.
What a character.
So great. Oh my God. Is she there?
I think she's still around. I'm not sure what her status
I mean,
Do we
if
know
we're
what prison they were in?
It was like Belle Reve. It was like the lower levels. There was another layer down beneath where Task Force X is and Task Force M, and like Weasel's still there.
Dr. Phosphorus?
A new form of GI robot is there, and then there's a few new ones. King Shark is there.
I forget who dies in Creature Commando season
It's my
1.
girl, the little fish woman.
Yes,
Oh.
and then does Dr. Phosphorus die as well? I forget.
No,
It's just the girl.
Yeah.
And technically, Weasel escapes, right? Weasel makes it.
Yeah, Weasel's still around. So it could be any of them. I have been speculating for a while now that James Gunn has another project that he didn't want to say out loud because he didn't want a rival studio to like fast track it. And my theory based off of him saying that was that he has a solo film based on The Bride. That he loves the character of The Bride. And the reason why he couldn't say what it was is because technically Universal owns the rights to The Bride of Frankenstein.
I believe like Frankenstein is in public domain.
It's in
as well,
domain,
yeah.
so really anybody can do it, but they have their own cinematic universe, especially if you go to Epic Universe and they have like what seems like a pretty modern version of Victoria Frankenstein, and they also have a Bride of Frankenstein, and might be like building a cinematic universe based off of that one Monsters Unchained ride, and it's fucking dope. It's such a cool ride.
You love that.
I love that ride. But like Universal, if you go on that ride, if you've been on the ride, you know you're looking at it and they're like, they have some story artists who are working on this movie because like it's too valuable of an IP to Universal.
What's her name has a Bride of Frankenstein movie coming out next year. From Secretary Maggie Gyllenhaal directed. She's not playing the bride, but she directed a movie.
Yeah.
I think with Jessie, the English actress.
Tyler Ferguson. Clemons.
Jessie, the female Jessie.
Jessie T. Usher.
From
A-Train from The
The
Voice.
Good Daughter, and I'm Thinking of Ending
don't-
Things. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
do not.
Anyways, you guys will recognize her. It'll be great.
I didn't even know.
So,
Maggie
I just listed the most obscure art titles as a.
your rumor, I believe about the movie. Because also
Yeah.
they made her story so dense in Creature Commandos that I was like, I want more of this. I want more than an episode.
And he also likes to work with the same people we found, and that's why I pitched Alan Tudyk as Mr. Mxyzptlk. I think he's such a whimsical King Candy type character that he could play that in live action.
Do you think he'd be a CGI character?
I think you'd have to like maybe put his face on a CGI body, or you could shrink him like what's his face, Bradley Cooper in the D&D movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a great cameo. He's married to what's her name?
Yeah,
or
he's
whatever,
an
right?
elf.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
And
I
he's
forgot all about
Michelle
that.
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Yes, Michelle Rodriguez.
That movie was the first movie I watched after my son was born because we had to do shifts where like he would just be up all night. So like there was like the first night where I was like, all right, my shift, and I watched that, and I watched the Mario Brothers movie, and I was like, D&D, this movie rocks.
D&D was great.
Great movie.
Mario
was
movie
great.
was okay.
Is it Justice Smith is the kid in that?
Yeah.
And like great cast.
Chris Pine is
Chris
in
Pine's
it.
So
great.
funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and the man from Bridgerton season 1, the pretty one that played the swordsman, that was really great. Oh, God. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, go see
Yes.
it.
But this show, Peacemaker season 2, it doesn't have the. It almost feels like a different show than season 1. Season 1 had this kind of like alien invasion subplot. Season 2 feels like it's almost like a wish fulfillment Elseworld story, right? Like if you could start over your life, almost like It's a Wonderful Life type.
Well, and it is interesting. We're 2 episodes in. There's not really a big bad that has been introduced.
Yeah.
Unless it's there the whole time.
I mean, it's kind of themselves, right? Self-destruction and depression are
true.
kind of the big bad so far.
Yeah.
Which will there be a villain? Like, is he going to go to this alternate universe, you know, be so happy, but then that universe's Augie and brother are going to chase him back to our universe or something, right? Like, who are they going to ultimately end up fighting? Or is it just Argus?
Peacemaker. I mean, if he's the one causing all of this disruption, the giant spider to come out of hell, and all of these things, they'd be like, hey, you are the reason for this. You've upset something. And that makes sense to go back to Rick Flag Jr., who, what was the line he said? He's like, load of peace you are, or whatever, after he died, his last words. Also, did Peacemaker tell them exactly the transcript of what his last words were?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but that line of like when he's just mocking how he's not actually about peace, I think that's going to be the biggest battle. He's going to make so much chaos that it's just going to be like, you're not Peacemaker, you're just a monster.
One of today's sponsors for the Break Room is Hims. Hims provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable tablets, Viagra, Cialis, and their generics for up to 95% less. We can't show you how effective it is on camera because that'd be bad. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, trust us, Hims can help. No insurance is needed and one low price covers everything, from treatments to ongoing care. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, Hims can help you find the ED option that works for you. The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor's visits. You just fill out an intake form on their site, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you for free. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/breakroom. That's HIMS.com/breakroom for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/breakroom. The featured products include compounded products, which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See a website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Moving on to some other DC Universe updates that I think are very interesting. We learned a bit more about the DC Gotham from some set photos from Liverpool. That's where they're shooting Clayface. Now, choosing Liverpool as a city that you shoot in is interesting because that's where Matt Reeves shot the 2022 The Batman, which is not the same universe, but then it is the same city. James Gunn definitely sees the value in shooting in the same city. We know it's not the same universe, partially because the cars, it has a different emblem of the Gotham City Police Department that we're now seeing. And we know from the shield of the Gotham PD on these cars that they say the PD was founded in 1802, and it just has an interesting kind of logo on there of pilgrims. We know that Metropolis in Delaware was founded in like 1645. So James Gunn is establishing kind of a part of his history, a colonial history for these cities that I just find really interesting.
I think Liverpool maybe is just dingy enough to make that same Clayface atmosphere that the Batman also gave, right? Because he's just it's rated R, right?
We think it will be, yes.
We think it will be. I think, maybe Liverpool. I have not been to Liverpool. And if you're in Liverpool, I didn't mean to say that in a mean way.
No.
But maybe it is just, what did you call it? Gritty?
Gritty?
Gritty? It's just gritty enough.
Yeah, well, and the real reason they're using it to stand in for Gotham, tax incentives,
I give it money.
okay? The same reason Marvel's shooting all of their movies in England. Though Marvel shoots all their movies on a soundstage in England, pretending that they are either in New York or on Titan or whatever. But like, I don't mind, and I'm on record as saying, if your movie is saying it's in New York City, shoot that movie in New York City, okay? Same way, you shouldn't shoot in LA and pretend that's London or
But then
Shanghai
you get people
either.
like me in the background just staring. Just staring on
And
me.
if you say your movie's in Gotham, you should shoot it in Gotham City.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
shoot
right.
it in
Find a real
Detroit.
Gotham. No, and I forgive if it's being set in a fictional place like Metropolis or Gotham or Taulo or whatever, right? Like then you could shoot it wherever the hell you want. But I wonder if it is to European cities in general, but especially maybe places like Belfast, Liverpool, Edinburgh, have European cities are so much older than American cities in general. Not only because they've been around for 1,000 years longer, but like European, especially Western European cities tend to like not tear their old buildings down like we do in America, right? Yeah. They let their 1,000-year-old buildings stay standing, or even their 50-year-old buildings.
And it still feels like a fantasy. Like it still feels like you're in a fantasy to walk down cobblestones, but it still could be in a modern time for Clayface. But in us, we're like seeing this like gangster walk down cobblestone path.
Yes.
And I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and there is a fantasy element, and also because of like we as an American audience have consumed so many years of media. I mean, like you go to Edinburgh and Hogwarts is literally there. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, oh, that fantasy world was based on a real world place. That maybe if you grew up in Edinburgh, it doesn't feel as fantastical as like it does to us who did not grow up around those buildings.
I think in a lot of these UK cities, whether it's Glasgow or Liverpool, they have kind of a mix of like really, really old city centers with like cathedrals and just other old buildings,
castles,
cobblestones, and just some of those like pub fronts that just have not changed for hundreds of years, but also have big working class centers. And both of those cities were big manufacturing centers. And you got to imagine like a city like Gotham needs to kind of have that mix of old and like not new, but recent.
I just can't wait for Clayface to go down to the chip shop. You know, to get a kebab. You know what I mean? Like to hop on the double-decker bus as he heads his way through Gotham.
If I see one car with the steering wheel on the other side.
Another update we learned from an interview with Alan Ritchson, who a lot of people have been fan casting as the DCU Batman. He said he will not be playing Batman in the DCU. James Gunn, for that matter, also said Chris Pratt will not be playing Batman. For anybody wondering. But Alan Ritchson said that he is open to possibly playing a different DCU character.
I think he even said, you will not see me play Batman, but you will see me in the DCU or something like that.
I strongly don't think that Batman is in my future. I do think there is something in my future with DC.
So he's been talking.
I mean, and Alan Ritchson, if that name is not immediately familiar, that's Reacher on the current Amazon show, and like he's been in the most recent Fast and Furious movies and the Spartacus show and stuff like that. I kind of like this because Alan Ritchson's also like a legit 6'6" or something like that. Batman shouldn't be a super tall hero.
He's tall.
Right?
He's tall and handsome.
Yeah, yes. And you know what? And Ben Affleck's a tall man. Like there've been tall people. I don't think Bale or Pattinson are necessarily small people, but like He's too big. He's
reason-
also so jacked.
The reason I kind of agree with you is because if you are doing like a chemistry test with the rest of the Justice League, he's gonna be towering over Superman and everybody
When he's
else.
11 inches taller than everybody else.
That's true. I
yes.
also, if he's having a child, I kind of want Batman to be a little bit older still. A little bit older still. I need him to be a little gray, and I don't think Alan Richardson is gray, but I love Alan Richardson.
That's a great point. If they do go that brave and bold, older Batman. So I will say, I recently rewatched the Batman. Pattinson's a good Batman.
He's great.
Young
He
baby
pulls
Batman.
that off. Like, he's got the right energy. And so I guess to that degree, you don't want somebody who's too close to that. Like, you don't want two parallel Batmans going at the same time who kind of look similar and like have the same kind of age and energy and whatever. So like, you do need somebody who's very different from Pattinson, but maybe that's the answer. Just get somebody in their 50s, right? Get a much older salt and pepper kind of person.
I don't know. I might be wrong about this. I think some people said that James Gunn's not going to go that old. That he's going to go for someone maybe in their late 30s, early 40s.
Late 30s with a 14-year-old? That's crazy. That's crazy. 30 and a 13-year-old. Yeah, it works. I guess you're 15.
Was this Rick Flag Senior math?
And maybe he's not 13. Maybe he's like 10.
Still.
Fighting crime? Fighting crime at age 10?
Maybe he's
And
like,
also, did he conceive of Damian Wayne with
That's what we're gonna
with
see
Talia
in
al
this
Ghul,
one.
or was he like they used his genetic material to make the kid?
Maybe he's the father, or maybe he's the father that stepped in. You know what I mean?
who else would
Stepfather.
it be if it's not Alan Richardson? Alan
Stepped up?
Richardson and Chris Pratt both look the same.
No, they don't.
No, not
Alan
in that
Richardson's
way.
like a stretched out Chris
No,
Pratt.
I meant like a white, brown, blonde way with
Yeah.
blue eyes. So I'm like, oh, are we looking at those guys? Because it's definitely not going to be Dave Bautista.
No, it won't be. I like Alan Richardson as like the DCU Aquaman. I think if we're going back to the like,
I get
if you're
it.
trying not to have a Jason Momoa Aquaman, like I think he could be a good Arthur Curry.
I think he could be a good Aquaman. I just don't want it. I would rather him be Bane.
Yeah.
I'd
Bane
way
is like the
rather-
best option.
He's also
Yeah. Bane would be
giant,
great.
dude. He works out
He's
and eats
huge.
only turkey wraps with like mustard. That's all he does.
Na Lee is now playing Judah, or he's always been playing Judah Master Rip Jagger, and Judah Master meets his demise from Bane.
That big ass Alan Richardson
Right,
just straight
and
up.
Na Lee is
God, just picks
like
him
the
up
size
like this.
comparison.
It would be great. It would be great. I think they're thinking about that.
Yeah,
I think
do it.
he's built, dude. He's jacked.
I would say I'd rather see him as a villain. Even him as like a Killer Croc or somebody like this. Somebody that can really utilize his like giant intimidating size. That'd be good. Like, I would love to see him as a villain. Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Well, we'll leave it there. We'll address some other questions in a bit. But I want to thank everyone for joining us for this discussion about Peacemaker, Season 2, Episode 2, and everything that's going to be happening in the future of the DCU that we know it. I'm going to try to have a video next week that kind of breaks down everything we know about the DCU Gotham based off of all the clues. But we'll leave it there for today. Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel on YouTube and give us a follow on Twitch where we do these videos live. You can follow all three of us on our social media. Not Zach. Zach's not on Twitter, right?
Yeah, follow me at Zach Huddleston.
Yep.
Just follow Jessica twice.
Yeah, go
Just
ahead.
do that instead of following me.
And big thanks to Brian Kim, who produced
Yay.
and will be editing this episode. Killer Crocs.